Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now Medusa has gotten a buff. She's soon going to be released as a 7-star in December. And well, let's check out her damage pre and post buff and discuss some changes. So the first fights that you guys can see here are pre-buff version of Medusa. And as these fights are happening, again, I'm going to explain the basic rotation, pre-post buff, which is effectively the same, the changes, and then we're also going to see the fight length. So Medusa is a very old champion that used to be at top of the game for a while, and then she just kind of got outdated and overtaken by other champions. Still capable champion, but far from meta dominant or champion like she used to be upon the release. Right now, in order to be able to gain Furies on Medusa, you need to have her awakened, and she stacks up to 3 Furies that are going away. All of them, right? So they start paused, and then once you reach 3, they start to expire, and then once they do, you start building them up again. That will no longer be the case with the with the buffed Medusa. You do not need to have her awakened anymore to use her offensively to her full capabilities, pretty much. And here is a small mistake, and that is amazing thing. She will also go up 6 Furies instead of 3. And 3 of those 6 Furies will effectively always be present, so she will never be without any Fury buffs. And her rotation is fairly, again, straightforward. You want to inflict Armor Shatter with doing a medium finish combo and activating a level 1 in a generic circumstance. And then, depending on the fight length, you either want to rush to your level 3 in order to apply new Armor Shatter without letting one expire to keep your permanent bleeds, or you want to go for level 2 for kind of a damage cash out. As we can see here, going for your second Armor Shatter, they are able to stack, which is like one of the 2 negative changes to Medusa. In this buff, she can no longer stack her Armor Shatters. They do last longer and are more potent after the buff, but she's no longer able to stack them. Now, that's not the biggest deal in 99.9% of the fights. Some fights, it's not ideal, but her rotation, again, as I explained, is still fairly straightforward. Get the Armor Shatter, keep the Armor Shatter, inflict as many permanent bleeds as you can, and then when you need cash out, go for level 2. In shorter fights, it's level 1, level 2. Level 1 to get the Armor Shatter, and level 2 to get the temporary bleeds and have like a fairly significant amount of damage. Here, when she's synergized up with the Inhuman Royal Family, then it's easier to get the Armor Shatter because you can drop a couple of heavy attacks and then just do like medium combos. You do not need the level 1 anymore for that then. And with Inhuman Royal Family, she goes up to 6 Fury buffs, and she has more attack, and life's beautiful. And we can definitely see a big change in damage. Without synergies before buff, she took 1 minute and 50 seconds to do that fight. After the buff, she's going to be much faster, but that's a bit of a spoiler, I guess. When synergized up before the buff, she also got like a massive damage increase. That's going to be noticeable here because I'm not going to even go for my second level 3. One level 3 will have been enough to effectively close out this fight, so I'm just going to drop my level 2 with the 6 Furies active, and that does a ton of damage, and the fight's over with overkill to spare. And now, when we're looking at her in kind of like shorter fights, she is a rank 3 6-star in these videos. So in shorter fights, her base rotation would be level 1, level 2, and that is enough to kill off most opponents in like medium level fights, I would say. And there, yeah, it's kind of simple. Level 1 in order to get the Armor Shatter, level 2 to get a ton of bleeds and damage, and that should be enough. And how quickly you finish off these fights will mainly depend on the AI, and that's about it. So if the AI is fast and quick, and you can punish the specials fast, and you don't spend a lot of time baiting out the special attacks, that's the biggest factor in changing the speed here. Because I had some recordings here of 30 seconds, some recordings here of 40 some seconds, entirely depending on the AI. Here we can see that also she had quite a lot of overkill when going up against the Deadpool. She will also have quite a lot of overkill here against Venom the Duck. And after the buff, it's going to be pretty much the same for these shorter fights. She will have more overkill left, but in these particular fights, the times will not differ significantly, even though you will be able to notice her having higher damage. AI and the fact that well, she will have even more overkill on her level 2s. The rotation will work out pretty much the same. Level 1, level 2. So post buff, this fight duration is not going to change by much, but I have a feeling that it's just one of those things that doesn't measure too well because you have to execute exactly the same rotation. You need to fill 3 bars of power, and you just have way more damage left over. So 30 and 42 seconds before the buff. Now, let's take a look at her after the buff. And again, as I mentioned, effectively everything has kind of slightly improved about Medusa, with 2 exceptions. Now you do not need to have her awakened in order to have her furies. That's good. Her furies go up to 6 instead of 3. That's good. In totaling slightly more attack than previously the 3 furies gave. You will have pretty much minimum 3 furies up at all times throughout the fight. That's well better in maintaining like a safety net for your auto block, as well as kind of like higher average amount of attack and damage in the fight. Your armor shatter is more potent and lasts longer. It's obviously great. Level 2 now gets both effects when activated with or without armor shatter effectively. That's also good, so you're going to get a ton of bleeds and guaranteed stun that lasts a quite long time for you to go in and finish the job. And all that stuff is amazing. The bad things, the not so great things, armor shatters do not stack on level 3 anymore. And in some matchups where you could get power quickly, stacking those armor shatters enable you to do a ton of damage, which will no longer be the case. But again, that doesn't apply to 99.9% of the fights. And another kind of like thing that in order not to completely overtune her, her individual furies are less potent now. Overall, you still get more attack when 6 of them are active than previously with 3, but they are about 40-45% less potent than they used to be. Again, you get 6 of them though, and total benefit is better. And we can see that. It went from 1 minute and 50 to 1 minute and 20 seconds without the synergies. Now, I did try out a bit different rotation here against CMM without going for the level 3, just seeing how far the level 2s take me. Level 1, level 2 rotation, it ended up doing just about the same time, so that didn't change anything much there, but still, it's much faster, shaving off half a minute. It is big. So she does have more damage. That's kind of unquestionable. Now I have her synergized up with the same synergy team in Human Royal Family plus Wolverine and Magneto. And yeah, this is going to be even more damage. And we can see for a 6-star rank 3 champion, she's doing a hell of a lot of damage. Now, this again is with synergies, so it is kind of like super clocked, because in most content you do not get to bring in a full synergy team. But it is kind of undeniable that she's putting in work, stacking up bleeds much faster, armor shatters lasting longer, you do more damage per hit on average, and well, life's quite beautiful for Medusa. Here we can see that I am not even going for level 3. I'm just going to make do with the armor shatter duration that I had. And this fight lasted 51 seconds. So I'm going to go in and do the same thing against CMM, effectively. And yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of damage. It's going to be pretty much the same time here. And I do make a crucial mistake here. I thought I'm at my level 2. I was at 1.99 bars of power, basically. But I will still somehow salvage it to the approximately same amount of time. Apologize for a bit of lag in these recordings. I'm still having issues with my capture card, but hopefully I will get that fixed soon enough. The point of the matter, however, is not changed. Medusa is much better now with significantly lower requirement to be good, as in like she does not have to be awakened to be offensively capable, and she does more damage than she used to now. Obviously, she will still wrecks robots like she used to, and we might see more of Medusa in near future. I do truly believe so, because she's a champion that people are familiar with. She's a champion that's very easy to use, and we do have some, defenders like Red Skull that well, need more answers too. And Medusa is definitely going to be a very, very solid option there. So again, we have the armor shatter on this Deadpool, and the fight durations here will not change too much. And the reason for it is, again, kind of will have to fill similar amounts of power in order to kind of like go for the big damage. Here, you don't even really get to level 2. So you can imagine how much overkill is there in that level 2. The fire duration is just about the same, but realistically, if Deadpool even had like 80k more health, he would go down just about as fast. So I'm going to do the same thing again with a bit better AI here this time around, and you can get that Deadpool down like 33 seconds. So it's similar to like before, but again, the reason for that is because there's a lot of overkill on that special too. In general, though, I think it's a solid buff. Will it be enough to make her like a mainstay Cosmic Champion? I think it could be, to be honest, especially if she's released as a 7-star. Cosmic 7-stars have not been doing too great. In fact, if you're looking exclusively at the 7-stars in any given class, then Cosmic is one of the weaker classes because top of the Cosmic class has not been released as 7-star champions. And the fact that you could just pull a 7-star Medusa, I think a ton of people would immediately upgrade her and try and put her to the best potential use. And I think she fits in the Battleground format quite well. If she's awakened and has her auto block, that can, you know, be defensive nuisance. If opponents have a great Mystic Champion, then obviously she's going to get nuked though. But, you know, she has some defensive viability when awakened and access to auto block. And then we also have her offensively dealing with some current defensive threats. Some champions that, you know, need more answers too. And if she's kind of like fast, nukish type champion, well, that's exactly what we as a community typically like to see. So let me know what you think. But yeah, Medusa's damage has definitely improved significantly. She's also easier to use for short and longer fights. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about